Hello friend, my name is Drink Some Water, and we have a very interesting discussion to talk about. We have the Trickster versus the Huntress, and we're going to talk about the Shack specifically. Shack is one of the hottest survivor loops. The Shack contains a really strong window and a really strong palette. Every time we load up into a match, this is probably the very first loop that I have to always deal with, is the Shack. Survivors love the Shack against Trickster. In fact, the way that you can loop Trickster on Shack is not the way we're going to show yet. We're just going to show this in comparison to Huntress just to make things a little bit easier. So we start things off with the Trickster entering the doorway. He throws a couple blades. Does he hit it? Maybe. And now there's a 1 second delay from switching his blades to his main weapon, and then also the time it takes to vault. Did we accomplish anything? No. We only got 2 blades on the survivor, and we need to hit them 4 more times. So maybe we're going to have to try this a couple more times and see if we can get an injured. Maybe, we don't know. But that is why we have a live example here. Let's see if I can get an injured state before the window blocks off. And just like that, the survivor's almost out of the door. And unfortunately, there's a lot of places the survivor can run. She can choose to loot me shitty, and just like that, her decay timer will be reset to 0. She could also have plenty of time to run to another loop, and I'll never be able to hit her because of the decay timer. And if you fucking expect me to pull out my blades fast enough to get this hit, you are out of your mind. Just watch this next part. Let's see how Huntress does. Wow, that took a lot of skill. Certainly she deserves that hit more than Trickster. Side by side, you can see that Huntress is a much better killer, and if you're still not convinced, continue watching to hear my points before you comment something and see if you can understand where I'm coming from. However, I think you can't argue with results like these, where I'm just dancing around the lorry before I ruin her life with the Huntress. This footage was recorded before the PTB and even the release of the Trickster's updates. However, you can still see that 7 blades ended up giving me 32.4 seconds before I could even injure her, which is a huge difference compared to what we saw, the 3 seconds from the Huntress. And even with the 6 blades update, if the survivors can loop you long enough, you're still going to have to hit the survivors for the same amount of blades, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is. And that is all because of the decay timer. But we're not going to talk about the decay timer as it's irrelevant to this video. Her strengths include punishing survivors who try to manipulate their hitbox and FOV of the killer. Survivors who drop pallets will get hit by hatchets. You can also predict survivor movements to injure or down them. Due to the wind-up time of the hatchets, you can apply more pressure than the Trickster could ever do. Some strengths compared to the Trickster that the Huntress doesn't have to worry about is there's no laceration decay timer, so she can freely throw hatchets at will when she thinks she can get a hit. You can loop anyone anywhere and still have to get the same amount of hits, just one, just to injure someone, and I find that a very good quality that the Huntress has that the Trickster does not. If I was Coconut right now, I could get long shots like these where I can hit survivors from afar. Unfortunately, the survivor did break the totem, but if I was actually a little bit better with my aim, I would have gotten them off of it. If I was playing the Trickster right now and Jake threw the God palette, I would not be able to get enough hits and he would be fully decayed by the time I catch up to him. But since I'm the Huntress instead, I applied this kind of pressure where he is forced to hide. Even though this is a really good Trickster loop, you can see how fast I injured this person without even having to look over and trying to pressure him to vault pallets and to crouch more. Also, if a survivor gets picked up, the Huntress doesn't have to follow the survivor. She can just instantly down them with the hatchet and then quickly get back onto the survivor that is running away from her. Alright, and for the grand finale, shots that Trickster cannot hit. Oh yeah, did we talk about the hatchet hitbox yet?